Um, I think another aspect of it is my mom would put me in like groups, so support groups with lupus, and I felt really awkward because there wasn't anyone my age. I was a kid and a teenager, and these people were adults, and they were in their mid 30s and above, and that's typically when people are diagnosed, is in their 30s. And also, it's even more rare for a Caucasian woman to be diagnosed with lupus. So I just kind of went all outside of stats, and they told me I couldn't have children. I have 3 children, and that's a reason why I had children so young. Because when my doctor told me, you're not able to have children, I'm like, well, why am I taking this birth control?
Aluva Life Greens actually started for me when I was 23 years old. I went out and bought a $400 industrial juicer, and I started juicing every single week. And I hated it. It took so much time, it cost money, and it was a process. That's when I started making the Life Greens product. It truly is the one drink that you should take every day for the rest of your life.
My name is Amy, and I absolutely love fitness. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and a professional makeup artist. Eating healthy is not the easiest thing. We get so busy in our lives, it's really hard to take the time to eat healthy and to eat right. My absolute favorite thing about this product is that they combine reds, greens, and probiotics in one mix. You put it in your water and you shake it up and voila, it's so easy and it tastes amazing. You'll feel a difference. Then you start believing that you really can change and that you can actually feel better.
Introducing Community App. Community App is an all-in-one app that lets you easily create and promote any type of class in your local community. The login/sign-up page where you can sign up or login. Details that are needed for sign-up: name, email address, password, location, interest. You can select as many as possible: interest, boxing, workout, painting, jogging, and so on. After sign up, connect your Stripe account, or you can skip it and connect it later. Welcome to your dashboard. Things you can do from dashboard. You can create class, see class requests, switch theme, settings, check your earnings. Visit www.community.com to get started, or download the Community app from Google Play Store or App Store.
Thanks to her, my podcast.
We got it. Reaching 350 million. They tuning in.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Hello, everybody. I am so excited to be here with all of you on this amazing day. And like always, I'm bringing you some of the most impactful, motivational people that are truly changing the world with what they're deciding to do. And today's featured guest is no different. She is absolutely amazing. Her name is April Chavez, and she is a mother of 3 beautiful miracle daughters. And get this, you guys, she used to be a police officer, and at a young age, she was diagnosed with lupus. She is a survivor. She is a talk show host. She is helping communities, get their health and wellness together, all because long ago, she had a dream that let her know that she was going to be protecting and serving her community and being inspired by the life of her mother being a nurse. She just went head in to helping us first with being a police officer, and now a whole lot more stuff. So I know you want to know more. All of us want to know more. What else is April doing? Let's bring her on. Hello, April. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Tina. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's truly my pleasure to have you on, and just to hear about a mother of 3 children. That is an accomplishment in itself. And then to have you have a dream ago, that really spoke to me, that you had a dream that you was going to be protecting and helping communities. Therefore, you went into being a police officer, and now you're on this journey. Same foundation, but it took a little different path. So the audience is curious. What do you do? Why do you do what you do? And what do you do?
Oh, well, gosh, it's a long story, just as we all have long stories, don't we?
Mhm.
uh, I went into the wellness arena because I grew up with lupus. And I think that really drove me into, not only seeing my mom as a nurse, and so that
Mhm.
was inspiring, but it drove me into police. And I think that male dominant field, because I was always trying to probably prove myself to the world. I didn't want to be defined by the disease. And so that stemmed me in that direction. Also, really initially, it was really geared towards the sciences.
Mhm.
I wanted to be a forensic entomologist and ended up getting pregnant at a very young age. So my career endeavors sort of switched after having children, as it does for many of us as well. And yeah, I think that w- things that I saw in law enforcement and, then going out of law enforcement, and I still want to continue on that wellness journey and be able to share with the world all of the things that I have learned, which is
Mhm.
quite a bit because it's kind of been on the forefront of my entire life.
Wow. Okay. So you said a lot in this. So we're gonna have to pick through. We got to pick through. So hearing you, it's very rare. You say you had lupus and you was diagnosed at a young age. That in itself is very rare, because normally you find out about lupus. Like for myself, for those who've been following me, they already know that I have lupus too. But
Okay.
I didn't find out until I was an adult. And it was a whole lot of different symptoms that finally led over a period of time, a body of symptoms and problems, that they finally realized, oh, it's been lupus all along. So how was it that they was able to figure it out so soon, and you found out that you was dealing with it even from birth? So how did that all transpire?
Well, I've had symptoms since birth. It
Mhm.
wasn't found. Actually, I wasn't diagnosed until I was 15. And I had many complications and issues growing up. So I think the real major complications
Mhm.
started happening around 8 years old.
Mhm.
And then I had to have like a blood transfusion at 10, and it just continued to get worse and worse. And lupus, as you know, since you have it, it's not found unless you do some extensive blood work. And
Mhm.
and it shows up in so many different ways. uh so it could be anything, right? And you go through all of these extensive testing and they still don't know. So because I had had so many things happen and they couldn't figure it out, they just continued on with the blood work, and then they finally found it. And so, I wanna go back to your question though. Did I answer it?
Well, yeah, because actually you were saying about the blood work, and it was different things that kind of led to it, and that is typically how lupus is. It's very rare that a person would go in and they would tell you right off the bat you have lupus, because they have to do the process of elimination, and then they take in factors of your age and your family history and this and that and blah. And so the fact that you still, though, it's still very rare for a 15-year-old to even get a concrete diagnosis, and then to know that this you did not want to have that label of, because when you start thinking about I know for me, when you start thinking about autoimmune disease, lupus, and then you do have limitations, but you don't want that to lead who you are. You don't want the diagnosis to precede who April is, who's Tina is. And so it took you on this journey where you said, out of all the professions to go in, you went in the most demanding career for someone who deal with energy. Lupus take your energy. You have brain fog. You do a lot of things happen. So what made you go into one of the most demanding careers with lupus?
Yeah. Again, really wanting to show up for myself and prove otherwise. I think the unique thing about me is because I was dealing with disease for so long and growing up, it really stemmed from probably when I was in grade school and having to leave school and not be the same as the other kids. And I had to quit sports because I'd bleed and I'd bruise, and it was awful. And so I think I just wanted to be a normal kid. And so because I wanted to be normal, I strived so hard to be that when I was able to. So during the healthy moments of my life, during the remission periods of my life, I really pushed myself. And, um, I think another aspect of it is my mom would put me in like groups, so support groups with lupus, and I felt really awkward because there wasn't anyone my age. I was a kid and a teenager, and these people were adults, and they were in their mid 30s and above, and that's typically when people are diagnosed, is in their 30s. And also it's even more rare for a Caucasian woman to be diagnosed with lupus. So I just kind of went all outside of stats, and they told me I couldn't have children. I have 3 children, and that's a reason why I had children so young, because when my doctor told me, "You're not able to have children," I'm like, "Well, why am I taking this birth control? This is horrible."
Yeah.
And, without cursing that out on here, I couldn't stand it. I mean, and back then, they didn't have what they have today, and so I was like, "There's no need." Well, I became pregnant, and I figured, well, I guess I'm gonna miscarry, and so that never happened. It really changed the course of my life, and not only that, but it changed how I viewed somebody in the medical authority, and so it changed my views drastically. They told my mom some things that I wouldn't survive to see 30, and so, I mean, she told me that a number of years after I turned 30, but, things like that where it just solidified, that there's so much little knowledge in this, and if that's the case, and if I keep continuing to go to the doctors and they don't have the answers, where is my power in that? And how can I make a change within myself in order to just live the best life that I can be? And so, yes, that drove me to fields that were a little more extreme. I think to living a life where there's so many times where you don't know if you're going to see tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so I think that I had a little more confidence going into a field like that, because you don't know if you're going to see tomorrow. So live today. And yeah.
Well, I can identify with that because I don't supposed to have children either. That's what they say. And then you are really, how can I say it? Because sometimes, because you get making me emotional. so I can really identify with it for the simple fact that yes, we both identify, and it's different types of lupus. Okay, so my type of lupus may be a little bit different, but some of the foundational pieces, symptoms, and stuff that we deal with are some things are just generalized with lupus, and some things are a little bit different. But I know personally, you're right, to be young, to have lupus, which I didn't know. I got diagnosed in my 30s. I just knew I used to ache a lot, had a lot of problems, used to be sick, used to have to miss out on certain things, couldn't overheat, the sun couldn't be around the sun. I started welching. I just didn't know until after I got in my 30s. And to be a child in that situation, your mother trying to help you, taking you to self-help group, but then you're looking around saying, I'm not going to say anything with all these grown folks, So I can understand what you're talking about, but the fact that you're choosing to change the perspective and how it looks. And although you went to a demanding career, but you went in to change people's lives. So you still had some underlining community driven. I want to make an impact. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. Everyone is putting an expiration date on my life. And I'm a fighter. And you just kept on moving. And it was some things that I did in my life that I actually tried to prepare my children from, just in case. Like, okay, let me read these books to them just in case I don't make it through them growing up. They can listen to the audio, like different things, me talking through, writing notes, writing letters. And I outlived all that stuff. So I understand the mental mindset of, I'm not going against doctors because I don't want y'all coming from it. I'm not going against doctors, but I'm just saying from my experience, the information that I received at the time from the ones that was in my realm was not the ideal information to motivate and encourage. And I just think because they just don't know what they just don't know. And you're being Caucasian and have lupus, that is even different because it's mostly African American. So with all that being said, April, when I think about everything that you have done, everything that you're accomplishing, I look at your social media, you're always smiling like me, and you're still out here helping. So what drove you? It had to be a defining thing that drove you to wellness. So what was it that drove you to wellness?
Oh, Tina, I really don't know if I can pinpoint that. I mean, literally, I would say I had a best friend when I was younger in middle school. Her mom had MS. She ended up dying. But witnessing that and the interactions and how that affected my friend and even me, I was over there a lot. So seeing somebody that was so ill on their deathbed for a few years while I was involved, and just how horrible that was and the torment of that. So I would say it started with that, and I knew I didn't ever want to be that. And then having children, I never wanted my children to experience that. I just, that's a no, not happening. My kids aren't going to see me like that. They're not going to have to take care of me like that. I'm not letting it happen. And it's interesting because as a mother, I feel that I really actually have been kind of more of a militaristic parent. And it's because I want to, like you said, I just want to drill in them all of the things, everything I can possibly give them, all of my knowledge in case tomorrow doesn't come. And so, yeah, I would say that those were definitely moments of shift. Also, being a parent and wanting to make sure that they were living their most healthy lives. And so, really rearing them on the best foods. So I did tons and tons of research on nutrition. And I mean, throughout my own experience, I always call lupus my disease is my superpower. And I say that because everything comes so quickly. Like my body tells me this is not good. This isn't working
real quickly.
Yeah. And so it's a superpower because I know what doesn't work for me. And so I can share that with other people. This might not be, but all of our bodies are different.
Mhm.
Like um I know that my husband can have totally different foods than I can, and he's fine. He's like a tank. And where I'm like suffering and I'm like, I'm never eating this again, sort
Yeah.
of thing. And so we're all definitely different. And I think our perspective on things is huge.
Mhm.
Has so much to do with everything. And um yeah, I would say too, I mean, there's been a few shifts within, being a police officer
Mhm.
and experiencing people and
Mhm.
working with people and going inside people's homes and understanding that so many of them, that where life wasn't working and there was so much chaos,
Mhm.
their surroundings or chaos too. So it's putting all of these things together and really coming to some understandings of all of these things have an effect on inside and around us.
That is so true. And you're right about our bodies are wonderfully made. My mom, she always tell me, your body gonna give you signals if you just stand quiet enough to listen to it. Everything that you take in, whether it's reading, whether it's food, whether it's being in a certain environment, it'll let you know if that's the right situation for you if you pay attention.
Mhm.
So, and so one unique thing about being so conscientious of what goes in and on your body, when you go or you go to the left, your body will let you know. It will let you know and you will feel it. So I know what you're talking about. So when you think about your journey, what do you think the most significant challenge will be for people that may not even deal with lupus? They may just deal with any type of health problem when it comes to healing themselves.
I feel that it's going back along the lines of what you just said, what your mother said.
Mhm.
It's it's listening to our bodies. It's taking the time to be quiet, to
Mm.
slow down our hearts, and to really go inside. I mean, meditation, I guess, is the easiest way to say, or being present and just slowing down. And it took me a long time to figure that out. I mean, really, I thought I always had to go fast. I went into law enforcement.
Yeah.
I'm like, go, 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 go. And truthfully, I mean that in different ways. So I was definitely at my healthiest at
Mhm.
life. I am at my healthiest when I do a lot of movement. And
Mhm.
so when I'm the most physical, so the most physically fit and attuned in life, I'm very healthy. And it's the stress and the
Yeah.
mental, that's when I get really, really ill. And that has been consistent throughout my life. And so when things happen, because we can't control that. I mean, we're humans. Life is going to
Mhm.
happen. Heartbreak is going to happen. Challenges are going to happen that we can't control, and it's our choice on how to respond to that.
Mhm.
So, I've had some more traumatic things happen in my life over the recent years, and I think through that is when I've really learned to quiet myself
Mm.
because I didn't know what else to do
Mm.
either. And so I started practicing that, and it really made this massive difference. And I started researching more on what that does. And I actually started learning about that when I was in law enforcement. I did a lot of
Mm.
studies on how to control yourself, breath work. So when you're in a high stress situation and it's your life. So um, you're holding somebody at gunpoint and you're in this super high situation where
Mhm.
it's fight or flight or what have you.
Mhm.
And some of the teachings that I came across was really learning. So not only is it the continuous education, or not saying that right, not education, but training. So
Mhm.
we train over and over and over and over again. So not only is that extremely important, but it's controlling your body and slowing down the heart and doing some breath work in order to become present so you're able to function.
Mhm.
And so it was through that. And so the importance isn't only with it's just with everybody. I mean, everybody can benefit from that. And the fact that we live in such a high stress society, I mean, our worlds, our life right now is so fast paced
Mhm.
that our bodies aren't used to that. Our bodies are not designed to be in continuous stress mode. And
Mhm.
that's where disease takes place.
Flourish. That is so true. That fight or flight was developed to protect us in harm's way, but the problem today is that we're on that 24/7, 7 days a week, and you can't keep having all that adrenaline running through your body all the time, because that's not what it was designed for. So it's just like a light. You keep it on all the time, it will burn out. And so burnout in representation of our bodies will be, I'm hurt, my head hurting, my knees hurting, I can't remember, uh, all different type of things that can lead to small symptoms that lead to something bigger. And you're right, we're living in this fast-paced society where everything, including information, is coming to us so super duper fast that our life is imitating the way that we're fastly, quickly getting information. And it's so the fact that you realize that the key to this is to slow down, to slow down. And I myself still working on that, but I have slowed down more than I have in the past. But sometimes I'll get back speed up because it's just my natural way. But the slow is really a blessing when we really take time to slow. And when you mention breathe, like when you said that, I actually took the time to take a deep breath. Like, how many times have we ever like take the time to mentally make sure that we take a deep breath? Most of the time we're taking shallow breaths because
Yeah.
we're so fast paced, and so it mimics bronchitis, asthma, all kind of things. You think you have that, but it's just because you just need to stop and breathe. So those are some great tips that you just gave our audience. So April said, breathe, people. Slow down and breathe.
Breathe, people.
Yes,
Slow. Yeah. It's huge.
it is. It truly
Bigger
is.
than people know. And it's simple.
And
If we just
free.
start like if it's kind of like, how they wear the rubber bands to
Mhm,
snap that remembrance of, oh yes, this is how I should start thinking.
mhm,
And that's really it. It's just to remember to come back into your body
mhm,
and take a deep breath, and to do that throughout the day, and then also to have like some time to really sit with yourself and
mhm.
just don't think about anything at all.
And be quiet.
Be quiet.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to do that later. Okay. And so, with all of this, your life and how it just unfold, I'm a person that really like to watch the journey, not the destination. So, as I see you battling, dealing with the challenges, but you're deciding to take it a different place from, okay, yes, I'm young, diagnosed with lupus, and it's rare, and I'm Caucasian, which is not something that lupus is categorized as. And now I'm figuring out what I like, what I don't like. You're seeing your mother. You already saw some of your friend mother experience sickness with MS, and you say, "Oh, that's something I don't want for my children." So I'm gonna make a mental note and also put together some action steps to make sure that I get my health and my wellness together. And then you went through being a police officer, a high powered, high intensity job, And now you decided, because many people saying, well, what's April going to do now? A little birdie told me that you have a TV show, that's going to be coming very soon, called the Wellness Driven Life Show. So why did you decide to take this time in your life to focus on bringing this type of television to viewing audiences all over the world?
That's a great question. The Wellness Driven Life Show is something that I become more and more passionate about as I embark on this journey. And I considered, when I started, it was Wellness Driven Life. And I could have gone, and I still do coaching. And but there was something that was missing with that. And really what I wanted to do was pump out information. And I wanted to just give the world all of this information, not only from myself. I have great stories, yes, but I want people to hear many stories because they're out there and there's a lot of them. There are so many stories of people healing outside of modern medicine. Um, or even alongside it. I definitely do not discount medicine. It has saved my life a number of times. So I don't want people to get that viewpoint. What I do want people to know and understand is how powerful you are. It's how powerful we as a human being and our bodies, what they are designed to do is heal. I mean, we're miraculous in and of ourselves, and I want people to know that. And so if I can share other people's stories and it clicks for someone and it can help change their lives or put them on a better path, then that's what's exciting. And so that's why I'm doing it. That's why the Wellness Driven Life Show is born. And I have a lot of wonderful guests coming on. And not only is it, people only in, with those great stories or specialists within wellness, like in the traditional sense, but there's going to be some guests that also are doing really incredible things of innovation and the sciences, because all of those things and all of those designs and all of that brilliance, it helps us. And so anything that is geared to lessen the stress is a benefit to us evolving. And so those are some of the guests that are going to be on the show as well. And I'm really excited to be able to share it with everyone.
Well, we are excited to receive it, and that you're taking the time with your busy schedule to put together impactful minds, great minds together, because you just never know. You could say the same thing that they've been saying, but they need to hear from someone else. And once they hear from someone else, it clicks for a person. Okay. And so the fact that you're taking the time to bring innovation in a world that's so innovative and so fastly moving and digitized and everything else. I was just speaking with someone the other day saying, it's almost like we living out Star Trek. Like, okay, we thought it was so far-fetched to have a handheld device in our hand that could communicate, and now we can't seem to think without it, So the fact that you're bringing wellness in together all on one platform so people can get just a buffet of helpful, useful information and be able to reach out to the individual guests if they want to learn more, they can reach out to you. So you said that you were coaching. You're still coaching. You're coaching to the TV.
Yes, I do. I do offer services, and there may be some specials with that, or really what I love to do is community. And so there's going to be a community platform, which I get really excited about. And being able to just be with a bunch of people to do, for better lack of a word, a mastermind, where you really work with each other and support one another and build each other up, lifting And so I really enjoy doing that. And I do have to say, the show, I have to give credit to my children. When we talk about me bringing other people, so because not everybody's gonna get it listening to me, but they might get it from somebody else. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm gonna give credit to my kiddos because they don't always listen to their mother, but they might listen to somebody else.
Uh, That's with everybody, not just the babies. But yes, so the fact that you're doing that, and I just love it because in a time in history where we are most conscientious of our health and wellness more than any before with what happened for the last 2, 3 years being shut in, people who have never thought about their health and wellness have been faced in the mirror with the saying, what am I going to do? How am I going to build up my immune system? How can I learn faster? Who can I go to for reliable resources so that it can speed up the process and I can just make my decision after getting the information, who I want to go with, what I want to try, or what I want to experience. I like to say experience when you're dealing with health and wellness because everybody's experience is different, even if it's the same product. But to have that, so will you have individuals on? Do you have, or do you plan to have, to offer products to your viewing audiences? I know you have coaching, but do you plan to kind of like in the future to have some recommendations for ones who may want to go the health and wellness route?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think one of the most exciting things is, having some of these people who have, their own businesses or they
Mhm.
specialize in something. It's really about the connections. And so when you listen to somebody, you're being connected with them. If you
Yeah.
like what you hear, you get to, go and check them out and utilize their services if they have them, and or find out who they're learning from.
Mhm.
So I really feel that that's a big part of it, and that's really exciting for me because I I'm giving people exposure
Mhm.
that they definitely will deserve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. So, for those of you that's just maybe just popping in, this is April Chavez. She is an amazing individual. She used to be a cop fighting for us in the community. Now she's fighting for our health and wellness, and she is bringing on innovative, like-minded individuals that's going to give you options in regards to how you can start your health and wellness journey if you choose to do so. So, she's going to be sharing some things that she personally offers as well as her featured guest. Her show, the Wellness Driven Life Show, is absolutely amazing. Listen, it's going to launch soon. So we want you to tune in and watch her show. And let me just pop it on the screen so you guys can see it. The Wellness Driven Life Show going to be coming your way very soon. Make sure to tune in to all of her episodes. Make sure to subscribe because she has a YouTube channel. Yes, called the Wellness Driven Life Show. So go ahead and subscribe so you will not miss any episodes, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time she put one up. And you can also follow her on Facebook, the Wellness Driven Life Show. And make sure that you can also reach out. Can Wait a minute. Let me ask you this.
Go
Can
ahead.
people reach out to you to be a featured guest on your show?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So where can they go to get that inquiry done to be a featured guest on the Wellness Driven Show?
Well, number one, they can go to the CTR Media Network and
Oh,
find me there.
yes. Well,
Uh,
they can go ahead.
yeah, and I also have a website. It's www.thewellnessdrivenlifeshow.com.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I mean, I would love for people to reach out if you got some really good, juicy stuff that you want to share with the world. Then come on over and let's have a show.
I love it. I love it. I saw your advertisement for your first featured guest. I'm already intrigued and ready to watch, So I'm so super duper excited. I'm very inspired by the way that you're choosing to live your life in despite of being diagnosed with lupus, because many times a diagnosis make you feel like your life is over. And the fact that you're constantly reinventing yourself, you're constantly growing despite whatever happens in your life. Like all of us have things that happen in our life, but you still keep moving. You still keep moving. I tell everyone, it doesn't matter how fast or slow you're going, as long as you keep moving. Okay, because sometime in life we're gonna go fast, sometimes we're gonna go a little slow, sometimes we're in the middle. But the fact that you keep going is very inspirational, and sharing and having the courage to share your story with millions of people that can listen to you worldwide is just going to be a joy to listen and watch as you grow as a TV host and as you grow with your audiences, because we've been waiting for you. And so now you're here.
Thank you.
So is there anything else that you would like to share with our viewing audience? Any upcoming events, a book, ebook, what other than, is there anything else?
Well, the show launches this Thursday, 2/23/2023. I'm a numbers girl, so I was really excited about that. I'm going to be on the Kim Jacobs show the same day because that beautiful woman happens to be my coach. And she is also one of my peers. Her and I both are managing directors for eWomen Network. So I would give a shout out to women entrepreneurs. And we have a few good men. And so, reach out and find your local eWomen Network chapter. And we're just fabulous as far as lifting others. If you want to grow and scale your business, it's a really wonderful community. And so, yes, I'll be on the Kim Jacobs show Thursday. The launch is Thursday. I have incredible guests coming out, so stay tuned for that. And you can check out those on Facebook or my LinkedIn profile. So, and I give a little tidbits and I give links to all of my guests so you can find out more about them. Yeah. So, I think that's probably the biggest thing is really the launch is coming, and I've been really engrossed inside that. So I haven't had much other time to think about anything else. And thinking about all the books that I read, Carmel Bell, she's a woman who is actually one of the top 10 medical intuitives in the world. And so I'm busy reading her book. And it's fascinating. And I think that's really one of the biggest pleasures of being able to really getting to know others and their journeys and how they serve.
Well, I want to just thank you for taking the time to come on over and be a featured guest on our show. So guess what, everyone? Make sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe. Follow April Chavez, the wellness queen. Remember her. Make sure to go on over and show some support. And for those of you who is looking for health and wellness products, she's going to have you covered, along with checking out some things, because we have CTR wellness as well. Because just like April, being that we have these life things, we have certain things that we look out for. And so make sure to keep in tune, because you never know what recommendation we might have for you next. All right. So thank you so much, April, for coming on, being on the show for today. Have a good day.
Tina.
Really great experience on the Tina Ramsey show. I felt like she really asked some valuable questions that can help a lot of people, especially in regards to monetizing. And so the vibe was great. I honestly wouldn't mind coming back on again if she invite me. And I felt like the conversation just flowed. So I am super happy, and I can't wait for the show to air on every single platform out there. And thank you again.
Thanks to her, my podcast.
We got it. Reaching 350 million. They tuning in.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.